Hey guys, it's Rob from Epic Sci-Fi Tiles. I just want to run through a couple of the files that you'll be getting in the Kickstarter, because I feel the photos don't really do them justice. So I'm going to start off with a couple of the accessories, just show you these and why I think they're probably cooler than the photos show. You can see on these barrels there's slight, this is in the file as well, there's a slight sort of like damage to them. You can see it better at the bottom all the way through there, and that's consistent. So we get another one, you can see the damage in the top. Another thing I want to show you is these crates. I've not actually just painted them like this. There's small section for you to paint and make them look however you want. I just think they look really cool. Another thing is this table and chairs, because of the way it prints like that, so you just take it off. Depending on if you use a raft, which I do, you might have to sort of sand the top down a little bit, but it prints really easy. So that's them, and then same with the chairs. They actually print down like this, and then there's a small support in between here, so you just remove the support, take it off, and then you've got a series of chairs. These chairs are cool because they're pretty well sized. I think it's very difficult to get a very tiny chair on a 3D print, but I think they're, that table's sort of about waist height for a standard mini, so that's pretty good. And let's move on to a couple of the more exciting things. This is the teleport sort of pad or system, whatever you want to call it. Literally just prints like that. I think you've got a couple of supports just in this section here, but it prints exactly like that. And then there is slight indented buttons and a button across here which you can paint. This is obviously, I've just painted this, so you've got a black screen. I just painted a little bit of writing on it to make it look like a sort of console screen. I think that's really cool. Then the next one is the pilot's chair. This was a bit of a difficult one because I didn't know whether to add sort of like a seat in, but I think it works nicer when you've got something like this, and then if you can just about fit a miniature in there. It does also fit the square bases as well, because I've checked that. But you can fit a miniature in there, and then it just feels more like that they're sort of in the pilot's seat. It's really cool. It's got a couple of buttons across here as well. It's also got another little screen, which I was going to paint some white text on it, but I've not actually done that yet. A couple of little drawers in the front to keep whatever a pilot keeps in there. This is one in particular that I feel really isn't done justice on the photos. There's loads of like small detail on this, so you can see it's got the ladder that goes up into the top bunk, and it's also got sort of like little bits of pipe work. Same on the back, just a little bit of pipe work that goes down there. On the side it's got another console screen, so like you can see how a sort of standard miniature fits in there. It doesn't actually fit in, but you can see how it would lie down in there. And then another thing, it's got this sort of like little shelving unit on the side, so you could add in like little books and things and whatever you want. But they're really cool, and I think they're not really done justice in the photo. You can see where I've got, at the moment, I've got a bit of a problem with my raft. I sort of have to scratch this off and then sand it, but that's because I bought cheap PLA. That's really the way this prints is there's a series of supports in here. You can, I find it easier to obviously use like a pair of snips or something, but you can literally just push it and push them all out with your finger, and then you've got that. That's probably one of my favourite pieces actually. That's really cool. Okay, next, couple of the traps. So these fit on the tiles. So you've got your tile, and then if a trap is found, you can then obviously put the trap, sit it on top, and then you've got your traps sat directly on top of the tile. That's really cool. That's a teleport trap, so it's similar to that. And obviously that can, do whatever you will with it. Put someone in a weird place. You've got this one, which I feel you can't really see very well in the photos, which is like a security minigun sort of trap. Again, you can place that on top, and it kind of follows the flow of the floor. But then you've got your little security camera trap in the corner. Next one, this one didn't print out very well. I'll print out another one, but some of the PLA I've got recently keeps getting tangled on the rail and then like pulling it all over the place. So that's probably what you get for buying cheap PLA as well. But so this is a mine trap. So there's a series of mines on the floor. Again, it sits on top, so it follows the floor. But because they're modular, you can spin them round. So these lines follow into here and stuff like that. These ones follow down there. Same with those. One of the cool traps. This is obviously made to look a little bit cooler because of the paintwork I did on it, but effectively the 3D print gives you a base here, and then I've just kind of stippled some darker, almost black mixed with the red around the outside to make it look like it's burning. Effectively, it's like a furnace overflow in the ship. It's also got that pipe work on the back, so you can see how it sort of blends in with the. So if you push that right up against there, you can see how it sort of continues that pipe work along, so it feels, it feels a bit less sort of like just shoved there. So that looks quite cool. And then finally we've got, for traps anyway, we've got this trap, which is the Electrified floor. You can see like the battery pack with a little lightning bolt on it, and then the two buttons on the side. I've sort of just put some like gold stuff just to represent, I don't know, sort of like electric running through it or something, but obviously you can paint that however you want. And then the final thing is this. So this is one of the wall pieces. It's like a little console, so that could just sit in the middle, and then you've got like a couple of buttons here and a few drawers, and it's the same on either side. But effectively, you can have a console in the middle of the pipework, and then get a couple of tiles. I've not clipped them together, so they're moving all over the place, but when they're clipped together, they're really solid. So there you've got you can see how quickly you can build up like a little scene, ready for your players, which is cool. Okay, the last piece is second from last piece is these doors. These are just so fun to play with. You've got all of your sort of circles at the top, so you could say this is security level. Well, depends what you look at, but this is security level 1 because it's got one dot in there. You could potentially have different security levels of doors that mean they're harder to get through and things like that, depending on what system you're playing. These have pipe work. They also have the like etching on there and a little keypad. and then this pipe actually sits out, and it doesn't need any supports or anything, so it sits out a bit, and that just makes the other side look a little bit different and makes it look cool. And then the actual doors slide out, so you can see where you can actually put the door in and slide them out. It's so fun to just keep, sliding these in and out. I don't know why, but there you go. It's very cool to print something that's like functional as well as it looking cool. But they slide in pretty easily. Then the final one are these sort of modular windows. So effectively you could have a series of windows next to each other, and you could either leave them blank, so you could see sort of if this was like a desert land or whatever. Let me just take that out. You could see that you've got sort of just standard windows that look like that, or if you, which I think is the coolest way to do it, is if you're in space and you're near a planet, effectively you can take some pieces of card, and actually where you've got these two, you can kind of arc a planet over the edge. Just wondering if I've got anything that I could quickly do that with. Let's just do some of this. So say you've got your two pieces together. And this paint's not very good. You'd probably be better printing off sort of like an Earth-looking planet, and then just cutting it up for the windows. But I'll quickly show you what this looks like, because I think you can't really see this on the photos either. So then you just pop your thing in here. Guarantee I'm going to get paint everywhere now. And then you've got your windows again, and you can see sort of if that looked like an actual Earth from the side of the ship, you'd actually see your planet. So you just stick these two in here. So you'd have your sort of arcing planet just on the outside, or you could just paint it with a load of white dots or things like that to make it look like space. The good thing about that is you don't need to print out new windows every time you want a different environment outside. So you can just print out your windows and then slot in your window sort of screens, and then you've got your cool scene outside. Cool. So that's what I wanted to go through just to show you guys. Hopefully you found this useful. And yeah, I'll do some more in the future if you want to see any of the new things. All the previous Kickstarters you can find on epicdungeontiles.com, and anything you see on there that you want to know more about, just let me know in the comments. Thanks, bye.